Have you ever found yourself doing everything right? Eating healthy meals, sticking to your exercise routine, living what feels like a perfectly wholesome life, yet your legs feel mysteriously weaker? Do the stairs seem to stretch further, each step feeling heavier than the last? Is that simple act of rising from a chair now taking a little longer, a little more effort than it used to? You might dismiss it as simply getting older, a natural part of aging that everyone faces. But what if I told you there's another hidden culprit at play, subtly undermining your strength and mobility, often without you even realizing it? This isn't about what you haven't been doing. It's about something you're likely doing every single day, confidently believing it's good for you, unaware of the quiet harm it's inflicting. Most seniors are making a common, silent error, embracing what they've been taught their entire lives: that fruit is inherently healthy, natural, and good. And while many fruits are indeed beneficial, there's a crucial truth nobody talks about. Not every fruit is suitable for older bodies. In fact, some of the very fruits you enjoy without a second thought. Each week can gradually weaken your legs, ignite knee pain, worsen joint inflammation, and make the simple act of walking a challenging ordeal. Those seemingly innocent, healthy choices might actually be silently sabotaging your mobility, balance, and the very strength you need to live life fully. As we gracefully age, our bodies undergo profound changes. Our circulation becomes less robust, our metabolism naturally slows down, and foods that once served us well can begin to subtly turn against us. Certain fruits in particular are deceptive. They appear harmless, often taste wonderfully sweet, and are packed with the promise of natural goodness. Yet many of them contain significant levels of acids, specific types of carbohydrates, and other compounds that can wreak havoc on your blood sugar, trigger widespread joint inflammation, and gradually chip away at your leg strength. The truly insidious part. This damage isn't immediate or obvious. It's a slow, quiet infiltration, undetectable, until one day you feel that unexpected, sharp pain in your calves, a nagging discomfort in your thighs, or a strange tightness in your knees after nothing more than a short walk. It's a shock when you realize the pain has become a constant companion, but the seeds of that discomfort were planted long ago, disguised as health food. Today we're going to pull back the curtain and reveal the 7 deadliest fruits that any senior over 60 absolutely must avoid. This isn't just important information, it's a critical guide if you want to shield your legs from long-term damage, agonizing pain, and debilitating weakness. Despite their innocent appearance, these fruits are anything but. Once you uncover this hidden truth, you will never look at your fruit bowl the same way again. So, if you value your independence, if you yearn to maintain stable, strong, and pain-free legs, then you need to stick with me through to the very end of this video. This could be the wake-up call your body has been waiting for, the knowledge that transforms your daily choices and restores your vitality. But before we dive into these revelations, please take a moment to click that subscribe button and turn on notifications if you're serious about protecting your health and well-being. This is where we uncover the vital truths that often go unspoken, the insights that can truly change your life. I want to know if you're with me on this journey, ready to reclaim your strength. If this video resonates with you, if you're tired of the pain and ready for answers, type 1 in the comment section right now. If not, type 0. Your voice is more important than you realize, and it helps us understand what matters most to you. Now let's get started and discuss the first fruit on our list, a fruit often praised for its supposed ability to reduce inflammation, yet it might be having the exact opposite effect on older adults. We're talking about pineapple. Pineapple, the silent saboteur of your legs. Pineapple. Just the word conjures images of tropical breezes, sweet juice, and revitalizing flavors. For years, this vibrant fruit has been hailed as a natural anti-inflammatory powerhouse, largely due to an enzyme called bromelain. It's in smoothies, fruit salads, and on plates everywhere, cherished for its supposed health benefits. Here's the unexpected twist though. While many still believe pineapple reduces inflammation, for seniors, it could actually be a quiet, constant source of distress. You see, pineapple is naturally rich in powerful acids and a substantial amount of natural sugars. And these sugars, especially if you're over the age of 60, are far from as harmless as they might seem. Let me explain why. As we age, our blood vessels, particularly the delicate capillaries, become more fragile and less responsive. They simply can't handle sudden spikes in sugar the way they once did. Despite its well-touted advantages, pineapple delivers a potent, concentrated dose of natural sugar directly into your bloodstream. This rapid surge in blood sugar can damage the tiny blood vessels that supply your legs, feet, and muscles. Over time, as this circulation deteriorates, less and less oxygen reaches your lower limbs. The painful, exhausting, and swelling consequences of this reduced oxygen supply manifest as that dull, persistent dragging ache in your legs after even a short stroll. It's the stiffness in your knees when you stand, or the inexplicable sudden pain in your ankles, even after a day of rest. But there's more to pineapple's deceptive nature. Beyond its sweetness, it's notably acidic. This acidity can exacerbate existing joint irritation, especially if you already live with inflammation or conditions like arthritis. It's like adding fuel to a smoldering fire, intensifying the burning sensation you might feel in your ankles, hips, and knees. Many individuals even report a heavy, leaden feeling in their legs after consuming pineapple, as if their strength is slowly draining away. If you're currently taking any medications, particularly blood thinners, there's another critical factor you need to be aware of, that famous enzyme, bromelain. It can interact with certain drugs, either making them excessively potent or rendering them less effective, creating a potentially dangerous situation without you ever knowing the cause. The most hazardous aspect of all, however, is the very stealth of this fruit's impact. There are no immediate, glaring negative effects, no obvious signs, no instant pain. Instead, pineapple insidiously infiltrates your system, gradually chipping away at your mobility until one day you realize you can no longer move with the ease you once took for granted. And the saddest part? Most seniors remain completely unaware that the very fruit they diligently consume for its supposed health benefits is contributing to the progressive weakness they experience in their legs year after year. So what can you do? You don't need to completely demonize pineapple, but you must be informed and exercise caution, especially if you've been grappling with persistent leg pain or inexplicable swelling. The harm is subtle, but it is undeniably real. Now, if a fruit celebrated for its anti-inflammatory properties can be this detrimental to aging legs, imagine what the next one on our list, often praised for its muscle-boosting power, might be doing. Bananas, the deceptive muscle booster. Next up, we have bananas, the supposed imposter of muscle. Soft, sweet, and renowned for their high potassium content, bananas are often considered a stellar health food. They're touted as an excellent source of quick energy, a reliable cramp preventative, and a genuine friend to your muscles. But for older adults, the situation takes a different turn. Bananas are incredibly rich in natural sugars and rapidly digestible carbohydrates. This means that immediately after you enjoy one, your blood sugar levels skyrocket. When this happens frequently, your body begins to develop insulin resistance. This cascade of events leads to weakened circulation, a significant increase in overall inflammation, and, crucially, a direct impact on your legs. The consequences can manifest as a dull, persistent soreness when you walk or climb stairs, an unsettling heaviness in your legs after meals, or an inexplicable stiffness in your calves that just won't seem to ease. And the story doesn't end there. Bananas also have a tendency to encourage fluid retention, a particular concern if you have underlying heart conditions. This can lead to stiff, achy joints, visibly swollen feet, and uncomfortable swelling in your ankles. The effect is silent, almost conspiratorial. You consume bananas believing you're nourishing your muscles, providing them with essential potassium, yet they could be subtly, gradually depleting your strength. The most unsettling aspect is that the impact won't hit you immediately. It's a slow burn. Over time, regular banana consumption can progressively make movement more difficult and amplify existing pain, turning a supposed health food into a daily source of discomfort. So, take a careful look at the fruits on your plate. If you frequently experience heavy, aching, or swollen legs, bananas may not be the benevolent friend they initially appear to be. Now, what if something even smaller, something charming and seemingly naive, could be causing your joints to burn? Let's talk about grapes. Grapes, tiny fruit, big inflammatory impact. Our third fruit is grapes, the little fruit with a significant inflammatory effect. They appear so innocent, don't they? Small, juicy, effortlessly popped as a snack, they also boast a stellar reputation. Heart healthy, packed with antioxidants, a truly guilt-free treat. However, what most people don't realize is that for older individuals, eating grapes can be a direct pathway to mild leg pain, persistent stiffness, and unwelcome inflammation. Why? Because grapes contain fructose, a type of sugar that, in high concentrations, can be incredibly detrimental to aging bodies. Fructose is absorbed directly by the liver, and when your liver struggles to process it completely, which often happens in older adults, it's converted into fat and uric acid. This is where the real trouble begins, especially in your toes, ankles, and knees. Uric acid accumulates in your joints, leading to an intermittent, burning, and swelling ache. It's that nagging, deep pain that makes even light walking a challenge, sometimes manifesting as an intense, piercing pain in your big toe at night, or that sudden, inexplicable stiffness in your calves. It might just be a seemingly harmless handful of grapes sending your uric acid levels soaring. Furthermore, the impact doesn't stop there. Fructose also fuels chronic inflammation throughout your body, a systemic issue that translates to slower movement, increased pressure on your joints, and generalized stiffness. Grapes are also far too easy to overindulge in. Their small size makes them perfect for mindless snacking. They're not heavy or filling, and before you know it, you've consumed 2 or 3 cups. The sugar accumulates quickly and stealthily. So, even though grapes might seem like a healthy, refreshing snack, they can subtly weaken your legs, diminish their flexibility, and make them increasingly uncomfortable as you age. If you've been enjoying grapes regularly and experiencing increasing stiffness and swelling, you now understand what might be hidden behind that sweet, juicy exterior. But grapes aren't the only delicious fruit with a potential dark side. Next, we turn to a luscious, vibrant fruit renowned for its hydrating qualities. Don't be fooled though, despite tasting like water, on the inside, it functions like pure sugar. Let's discuss watermelon. Watermelon, the deceitful hydrator. Moving on to our fourth fruit, watermelon, the bogus hydrator. Light, refreshing, and the very symbol of summer and hydration, it seems utterly beyond reproach. But is it possible that this incredibly watery fruit is subtly damaging your legs? It sounds odd, doesn't it? Everyone agrees that watermelon is a healthy way to stay hydrated. It feels safe, boasts few calories, and is, after all, mostly water. However, here's the crucial secret. Watermelon has an exceptionally high glycemic index. This means it rapidly spikes your blood sugar levels, much like eating a sugary candy bar. For seniors, these frequent dramatic sugar spikes cause significant harm, particularly to your legs. Let's break down the mechanism. When your blood sugar levels rise quickly, your body releases a flood of insulin. However, in aging bodies, insulin regulation often becomes inefficient. This leads to increased inflammation, especially in areas with already compromised circulation. And where does this often show up? Your calves, your ankles, your knees. You might experience immediate leg tiredness after eating watermelon, a dull discomfort when attempting even short strolls, or that strange, persistent swelling around your ankles. Suddenly, climbing stairs begins to feel less like a simple task and more like ascending a mountain. Watermelon's light, airy texture is misleading. Internally, it acts like a charming trap, gently but persistently wearing down your legs. Because it's so juicy and refreshing, most people tend to eat large quantities of it. One slice easily becomes 2, then 3, each serving adding more sugar, more stress on your system, and increased inflammation. It's truly deceiving. You believe you're simply hydrating, but instead, your blood sugar is spiking, your circulation is struggling, and your legs are suffering the consequences. Does watermelon truly help seniors stay hydrated, or does each mouthful subtly increase the discomfort of movement? If watermelon has been a staple on your plate and your legs have been feeling increasingly exhausted lately, it might be time for a serious reconsideration. Let's now shift our focus to a fruit synonymous with vitamin C and health, a ubiquitous ingredient in juices, immunity-boosting drinks, and breakfast tables. Yet, for seniors, it may trigger an acidic assault on their precious joints. Let's discuss oranges. Oranges, an acidic assault on your joints. The fifth fruit on our list is oranges, the attack of acid on joints. They're vibrant, exuding a fresh, invigorating scent, and they're truly everywhere, in juices, health supplements, and adorning breakfast platters worldwide. They're championed for their vitamin C content, believed to be an immune-boosting essential. However, for older adults, particularly those over 60, oranges may be concealing an unpleasant truth. Behind that cheerful citrus glow lies a potent acidity that your joints absolutely dislike. Oranges are abundant in citric acid, and while this might seem normal and even healthy, it can silently irritate your joints, especially if your body is already contending with inflammation, stiffness, or arthritis. This irritation can manifest as a gradual stiffness in your knees, upon waking, persistent hip pain, that uncomfortable sensation in your legs after prolonged sitting, decreased overall mobility, and increased swelling. You might simply attribute these symptoms to aging, but that seemingly healthy habit of enjoying orange juice every morning could be directly contributing to the very pain you're desperately trying to avoid. Here's what truly occurs. The citric acid found in oranges has effects that extend far beyond your stomach. It enters your bloodstream and can exacerbate the delicate tissues within your joints. Furthermore, when combined with the fruit's natural sugars, it causes unsettling blood sugar fluctuations. And what's the direct result of that? Systemic inflammation throughout your entire body. This inflammation then spreads to your knees, ankles, and calves, making every step feel a little heavier, a little more painful. You see, while oranges might not be harmful to a younger individual, for an elderly person with aging joints and slower circulation, the effect subtly accumulates over time. The most challenging aspect of this revelation is that you're likely consuming oranges with the genuine belief that you're doing something beneficial for yourself, given their long-standing association with wellness. However, you are now armed with the knowledge that they may not be serving your health as you had hoped. What comes next then? The following fruit presents a tidy, almost virtuous appearance. Green, crisp, and seemingly lower in sugar, many believe it to be the safest, most wholesome option. Yet it conceals a secret that can lead to nighttime cramping, tight knees, and aching hips. Now let's discuss green apples. Green apples, the hidden cause of leg pain. Introducing the sixth fruit, green apples, a secret cause of leg pain. They present themselves as crisp, clean, and utterly organic. Furthermore, most people, especially seniors, genuinely believe they are the healthier option precisely because they taste less sweet than their red counterparts. They seem like the quintessential healthy, low-sugar snack. However, what most individuals are unaware of is that green apples might subtly induce weariness, stiffness, and persistent leg pain. The two primary culprits posing this hidden threat are malic acid and their deceptive natural sugar content. Let's first address malic acid. This acid is precisely what gives green apples their distinctive tart flavor. While it might be perfectly fine for younger individuals, it can be quite unpleasant for an aging digestive system. As we grow older, our gut lining becomes more sensitive, and once malic acid enters the body, it can irritate various tissues, including our joints. Some elderly individuals report experiencing severe hip or thigh pain after consuming green apples, while others describe a mild, persistent heat in their feet or an undeniable tightness in their knees. This discomfort doesn't happen instantly. It takes time to develop, but as the acid gradually accumulates over days and weeks, the agony in your joints and legs increases in frequency and intensity. Now let's discuss the sugar. Even if they don't taste as sweet as red apples, green apples still contain natural sugars. And for elderly people with slower metabolisms, that sugar can cause noticeable blood sugar fluctuations. These fluctuations can manifest as tired calves, painful leg cramps at night, morning stiffness that makes getting out of bed a chore, or a general feeling of weakness when ascending stairs. The most challenging aspect is that green apples are frequently consumed uncooked, as a convenient snack or even right before bed. As a result, the body is constantly subjected to their effects. They appear so healthy, so pure, so benign. Yet for aging bodies, green apples may be subtly making walking more difficult, stiffening joints, and making evenings more restless and uncomfortable than they need to be. If a fruit as seemingly basic as a green apple can have this impact, what about a rich, extremely sweet, tropical fruit that is adored by many? The one that is a true sugar bomb. Let's discuss mango. Mango, a sugar explosion for your joints. Our final fruit, the 7th on our list, is mango, a veritable sugar explosion for your joints. Juicy, incredibly soft, and often tasting like pure candy, this fruit is beloved by nearly everyone, particularly during the warm summer months. However, here's the stark truth. Mango may be the single most harmful fruit for older adults struggling with joint weakness and leg pain. Why? Because it contains an absolutely staggering amount of natural sugar. I'm not talking about a little. I'm talking about a significant sugar punch that will cause your blood sugar to skyrocket sharply and quickly. Now, if you're active and under 30, your body can typically handle that kind of rapid rise. But after the age of 60, your metabolism undergoes fundamental changes. That intense sugar rush triggers an immediate insulin spike, followed by an inevitable crash. Each time this occurs, your body responds by producing deep-seated inflammation within your joints, specifically affecting the soft tissues surrounding your ankles, hips, and knees. If you have underlying nerve problems, this can be particularly acute. You might experience a burning sensation in your toes, a persistent tingling that won't dissipate, noticeable swelling around your feet in the evening, or a creeping heaviness in your legs that feels impossible to shake. Because mango tastes so light, feels so fresh, and doesn't seem like a heavy meal, it's incredibly easy to consume in larger portions, inadvertently worsening the problem. That's the trick, though. The sensation of lightness is irrelevant to your body's internal chemistry. It reacts directly to the sugar, and over time, that sugar can cause escalating joint pain, lead to sluggish walking, and contribute to unsteady, unreliable legs. Many elderly people consume mangoes with the belief that they are enjoying a natural delight, and yes, it is natural. However, natural does not always equate to safe for weakening circulation and aging joints. You've now seen the complete picture. 7 fruits, often celebrated for their health benefits, harbor a detrimental side for people over 60.